Yes, sir. You already know what time it is. You already know what is going on. Your favorite cousins are back. Your favorite duo is now back in session. I am your host, Cam Silver.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And Kyle, Sunday.
Boy, oh boy, what a game for the books, man.
Man, Sunday. The game started off so slow. So slow. But then after that, things started to kick into high gear, and we by the end of it, we had ourselves a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
A big time classic. But Kansas City was able to get out and defeat San Francisco 25-22 in overtime in the big game.
Came down to the very, very last play too. That's now talk about an actual big game coming down to the wire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, coming down to the ending. But let's get into it. Some key moments that I just put down. First, Christian McCaffrey ended up fumbling on the first drive, and I had to look up when was the last time he fumbled. That was like back in October. Well, that was the last time that he fumbled. So like watching him fumble, I was like, when was the last time? Yeah, it was like, when was the last time that this happened? Then Kansas City, they go down to Patrick Mahomes gives that crazy throw to who was that, McCall Harmon, I think down the field. They get the ball down in the red zone basically. Then next thing you know, Pacheco fumbles, and next thing you know, San Fran was able to capitalize finally on like a turnover after not capitalizing on any turnovers. They were finally up 10-3 in the first half. And going into the half, I was like, this is exactly where Kansas City kind of wants it because this is what they're used to, especially in this game. And then Mahomes throws an interception to begin the second half, and I'm like, oh,
that was a big one. That was a big one, a really bad interception.
But then their defense stepped up. Defense stepped up. They didn't even let any points go. The punt return that was supposed to be a punt return for San Fran ends up becoming a fumble because it hits off of there. One of the guys up.
It hits off the dude's foot. The other guy tried to pick it up, and then next thing you know, boom! All you see is Kansas City guys all over the ball. That was a bad one too.
Yeah,
there was like some costly like turnovers that could have been momentum shifts throughout the game.
Correct.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, no, then that leads to a touchdown, which makes it 13-10. One thing that I noticed, I'm pretty sure you noticed this too, and everybody I'm pretty sure noticed this, that the Chiefs never had control of this game because they never had control of the line.
Not since the beginning.
Offense or defense, they never had control at all. They couldn't get to Brock Purdy at all until they didn't get the pressures that they wanted on him until the end of the game.
I was about to say until it was like the fourth quarter.
Correct.
Didn't I tell you that this game would be won in the trenches though, and then. Look what happened when they needed to stop and they needed to get pressure on Brock Purdy. They were able to do it.
Yeah.
San Francisco's defensive line was not able to get to Patrick Mahomes and stop him. They couldn't stop a call from coming out of mouth.
Yeah, by the end, because out of whatever adjustments that they are able to see is awesome to me because they were able to shift everything. San Fran took the ball first in overtime.
Terrible decision.
This will be something that we talk about just in a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to get through like some of the other stuff. You know that. So yes, they took the ball first in overtime, which obviously, as Kyle said, which was one of the worst mistakes ever known to man. Then let's see what else. Mahomes ran the ball on that last drive, bro.
Yeah.
The amount of times where we've already, we've seen this before where he becomes a game manager and then becomes a game changer, becomes a game changer, becomes a game manager. This right here was him becoming a game changer and just saying, I'll do whatever I can to put the team on our back.
He's like, I got it. This is my stuff right here. I got it.
Easily. The 4th and 1s, I remember, on the 4th and 1, they ran a triple option basically, where he could have gave it to Kelsey in the flat, he could have gave it to Rashid over the literally right in front of him, but instead he just ran it up for himself, which was probably the best one. And even on 3rd and 1, when he ran up the middle for to get into the red zone before he gave it up to Kelsey, and then after that, which led to the play that ended up winning the game, which was the same play that won the game last year in corn dog.
Good, the corn dog.
Corn dog.
The corn dog play, man. Oh my goodness. McCole was wide open.
Bro.
Wide, didn't even get touched.
Bro.
Oh man.
It was the same thing. That same whip route that they had, come right back in. As soon as I snap this ball, you dart right back out. But man, that was a game for the ages. That was one where, when Mahomes when they threw that touchdown, I was jumping up.
I was like,
they did it again.
Yes, yo. Oh my goodness, man. Patrick Mahomes, he's 101. 101.
Yeah, it's safe to say that we've already established this after the Baltimore game, but I think it's really safe to say that you can't put him in a category with anybody else that's active right now. It's not even close.
No, you can't. Not anymore.
As much as we would like to, because it'd be fun for the sake of the argument, but you can't even. It's not even close. Like even last year, after they won, I was still sitting there. I'm like, I don't think that we could really talk about him the way that we talk about Lamar, the way you talk about Josh and Joe and all of them.
No,
now,
we can't anymore.
Now it's not even. Now it's that's close. That's a close discussion now.
Yeah.
Until somebody else,
put the wall up.
Yeah. Until somebody else can build up something, which would be hard to do because of the amount of changes that are happening. But yeah, no, he like you said, he's by himself.
Think about it. He led his team in rushing too.
Yeah.
9 carries for 66 yards.
Yeah.
Like that's, and then you got Pacheco 15 carries for 59 yards. Like, you got the bell cow workhorse, but when Patrick Mahomes needed to use his legs, he was able to do it so efficiently and know where to go. And he was picking up a lot of extra yardage when they needed it.
Correct. Yeah. A lot of extra yardage. Talk about Travis Kelce. He only had one reception for 1 yard in the first half. Next thing you know, end of the game, 9 receptions for 93 yards. Where in the world did this come from?
Next thing, I just remember when he caught that first pass. I think it was over the middle. Patrick might have been coming outside the pocket. And he hit him. I was like, yep. It was in the beginning of the third quarter, mid third quarter. Yep. I was like, yep. I was like, Patrick knows he needs to get this ball to him. He knows it. You're not winning that game if Travis Kelce stays to that 1 to 2 or 3 receptions.
Right. Yeah,
you don't win that game.
He made sure that he got his man the ball, and he did exactly what he needed to do. A big shout out to Rashee Rice. Most receptions by a rookie in the postseason, 26 receptions. That's big time right there. And he had some pretty big plays too.
Absolutely.
Coming down that stretch at the end. I feel for San Fran. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel for San Fran. Second time that
tough losses.
Yeah. Second time that you lost to Kansas City in a big game. Once again, this kind of the same fashion, except for obviously we went to overtime this time. But yeah, kind of in the same fashion where you had the lead, you have the overall better team, but you just can't get over the hump for some unknown reason.
It's like they're they'll do so well up until the big game.
Literally.
Up until the game really, really, really matters.
Literally. And the big thing was it's not like they played bad.
They did not play bad.
Brock Purdy played so well, and he played very well in my opinion, to the point where I'm like, we don't really have any more questions around him. It's just more the fact that just getting over the hump as a team.
Can you actually complete the task now?
Correct. Is getting over the hump as a team. And Christian McCaffrey, he was out there. He did everything that he could. 80 yards both through the air and on the ground. Don't know if you noticed it, but by the end, coming up to the end of that fourth quarter, he was wobbly, getting up every single time. He couldn't even there were times where it looked like he couldn't even stand straight. Because
he was just getting hit so much, and he's probably so tired.
Yeah, he's running the ball so much and basically putting that team on his back. So he was one that I for sure felt for. But going back to that overtime, when I'm pretty sure you've seen the clips all over social media.
Let's talk about it.
After the Inside the NFL finally released the clips. The biggest thing for me was when Coach Shanahan is sitting there in the microphone and going, "We're taking the ball first. We're taking the ball first. We're taking the ball first." And I'm like, Really? You're gonna take the ball first? You're gonna let Patrick Mahomes get 4 downs instead of 3? Even though we already see what he can do with 3.
I know, right? You saw like it don't even. Oh my goodness!
But you're gonna give him 4 downs to do whatever the heck he wants to do. That's one. 2, Kyle Juszczyk coming up into the huddle and going, yeah, even if they score a touchdown, I didn't know that they still get the ball. What do you mean you didn't know they still get the ball?
How do you not know the overtime rules? How do you not know the overtime rules?
What's happening? And then come to find out, Chris Jones and them were like, oh yeah, we've been talking about this since July.
July.
Since training camp. That's what he said, since training camp. But training camp happens, and training camp starts in July. So the fact that you've been talking about this since July, you know, you talk about it in training camp, you know, you go through the season, whatever. Then after that, they said they talked about it again in the beginning of the playoffs. And then again, prepping for this game.
That shows how Andy Reid handles his preparation throughout the entire season and understands all facets of the game. Kyle Shanahan dropped the ball on that one. There's no other way around it.
He said his initial thinking was, we get the ball, we score, and if anything, we get the ball a third time and we score again and we win.
But then now you got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and them coming out saying we was gonna go for 2 anyway.
Exactly. So that was my thing.
Like we was gonna end this game here now.
Even if you sit there, you think you're gonna get that 6+1. You do know that there's a 6+2 coming.
Exactly.
Like there's no way in the world that you're gonna sit here going back and forth with the Chiefs. I don't care who you are. As long as 1-5 is over there, there's no such thing as a back and forth. There's no such thing as a shootout.
My only thing too is Cam is the fact that he did it twice in one game. Patrick Mahomes came down at the end of the fourth quarter, got them.
If they didn't run out of time in that fourth quarter, they scored that touchdown.
Yeah, I agree.
They easily scored that touchdown.
I agree.
Also, he missed Rasheed Rice because he was too busy looking for Kelsey on the left side. If he looked at Rasheed Rice, if he peeked into the middle for like a millisecond, he would have had Rasheed Rice and he probably would have ended the game there. But yeah, no, they're lucky that there was an extra 10 seconds on that.
Like if there was an extra, we saw what he did in 13 seconds.
Oh yeah,
like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, and he had an eternity to get down the field on this one. And
then he does it, but then so then he, OT comes, and then you give him you let him touch the ball last.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't. Not me.
I'm like, nah, sir. You got it.
You gotta test it.
You got it.
You gotta go get this. And then if he gets to 2, then all right. Then somehow, some way, we gotta get.
We gotta do the same thing.
2. That's what it is. We gonna have to live and die on that moment. But you know what else too? Shout outs to the Chiefs defense too.
Yes. Shout out Steve Spagnuolo.
Shout out Steve Spagnuolo, Jerry Sneed, Trip McDuffie.
Jerry Sneed.
Trip McDuffie was all over the place.
Even Chris though. Chris was still doing his thing too.
Chris was eating. Chris was eating. Kalafskis was eating. The linebackers, everybody was balling. My favorite thing that I seen was in the second half when they switched up their defense and they put 5 guys on the line to match it with the 5 on the Niners, so that they could start getting their linebackers downhill, so that Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel won't be able to get out of the backfield.
Yep.
That's how they stopped the run, and they were like, all right, as long as we stop the run and we force Brock Purdy
to throw the ball,
they trust their cornerbacks and their safeties that much to stick to their guys, which they did. Jim McDuffie was draped all over Deebo. Debo had nowhere to breathe.
Debo, he couldn't breathe at all.
Debo couldn't breathe at all. Ayuk barely got to 49 yards.
Ayuk.
Brent Jennings was the only bright spot in that passing game, and that was in the second half. That wasn't even first half. That was the second half mostly. So yeah, no, that big hats off to that Chiefs defense, because they rode on that Chiefs defense the whole year. You know, and it was just the offense that just needed to plug in.
Exactly.
They needed to.
Exactly. And look what happened. They did. They literally did. And that shows you that winning mentality.
Yeah.
That winning, like, dynasty championship organization that they have.
Correct. They never wavered. They never, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like they were getting a little out of character here and there in the first half. But you could tell the maturity, you could tell the leadership that they have in that locker room, starting with Patrick Mahomes, is the fact that he never let them get out of themselves.
Ever.
You know, he never let them get out of themselves, and everybody played, probably the best game at the best time. But man,
I agree. I'm low-key sad that football is over.
I know, I'm sad too, yo. But it's all right. It's all right. In a couple months, we got the draft coming back up. So, a lot of big things happening. You already know the news is not going to stop dropping.
Oh
about certain things happening. Obviously, with the draft, coming up, some big names starting to drop and whatnot. So, I'm very, very excited for that goes. But Niners, before we get off football, Niners let go of their defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes, just a couple days after the big game, which was very odd to me and a bunch of others. They will be losing assistant head coach and running back coach Anthony Lynn. He'll become the run game coordinator for the Commanders.
Oh, wow.
Losing Clint Kubiak, who will be the Saints offensive coordinator. Assistant offensive line coach James Craig will be Raiders offensive line coach now. And assistant defensive line coach Daryl Tapp will become the Commanders defensive line coach.
Wow. That's like I'm not going to say cleaning house, but you tidying up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's
not even cleaning house. That's just you losing because you made it to the big game.
Yeah, no. Like, I mean, shout out to those guys. Like, they probably got better deals and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, it's just crazy to see that. Like, you get there and then like
you just everything disperses.
You lose some essential guys in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, big time coaches too.
Exactly.
Big time coaches. But that's gonna be very interesting to see how the Niners will what Shanahan will do, because like I said, the Steve Wilkes one was just weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
You had one of the best defenses, and it wasn't the scheme that you're used to, but it's a scheme that carried you to the big game. There's a bunch of other schemes out there that probably would have failed you. You know what I mean? So, but I digress. Moving on, so the NBA is officially about to kick off into All-Star Weekend.
Yes, sir.
But before we get into All-Star Weekend, something random as heck just happened on Wednesday night. So, Pistons center Isaiah Stewart punched Suns center Drew Eubanks at their arena hours before the game played. Stewart was issued a citation and he was released by police. The two apparently were chest to chest before Stewart threw the punch.
Wow. That's just so random.
That's
how you two before the game?
You two before the game?
Why were y'all even like in the same hallway before the game? Go with your team, bro.
How do y'all even know each other like that?
What could y'all have possibly been beefing about? Like that.
Who's coming off the bench first? I don't know what to tell you. Like
he said who's coming off the bench first.
This don't make no sense. They don't make no sense. I got one guy that's fighting. I got one guy that's getting punched in the face. You got 3 all-timers on your team, and then I got Isaiah Stewart, who he's just had bad luck with random guys.
Just brawler. He's just a brawler that like just has had bad luck.
Yeah, it's just random. But
that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, like I don't know what to say about that one. That
digress again.
Again, yes. Because there was no, like reading that Wednesday night, I was like, why?
Like, again, before the game? Like, what are y'all doing? Don't you have shots to go put up? Plays to run?
I don't know.
Sir.
I just don't know.
Sir. Come on, guys. We're better than that.
I just don't know. But looking at the standings, in the Eastern Conference, so our top 4, Celtics, Cavs, Bucks, Knicks. Actually, matter of fact, I'll just go through the whole thing. Got Sixers, got Pacers, and the play-in right now would be the Heat, the Magic, the Bulls, and the Hawks. It's tight. Is it? Yeah, it's actually kind of tight in there. You got
in the play-in, yes.
Yeah, in the play-in.
Yes.
Play-in is pretty tight. You got the Heat and the Magic. They're tied up right now.
I can't believe I ain't never seen the Magic above 10 in God knows how long. Right? Oh my good. Hey, yo, shout out Paulo and them boys. Okay.
Yeah, Paulo's going.
Paulo's going wild. Paulo's going
nuts right now.
Him and Franz Wagner too. Yo, Wagner's nice. Wagner's nice.
Yo, he's somebody that I've watched a lot in college. Man, when I tell you, you ever want to find someone that could do literally everything, that is the person that could literally do everything.
He's one of those guys.
He's long. He's he's quick on his feet. He could pass the ball. He could rebound. He could score. He could get steals, get a couple blocks here and there. Yeah, man, that's one of my favorites right now to watch. The Magic, that's a young team with a team that can certainly make some noise. So anticipate to keep seeing them. And the play in. They actually just had their first national television game with Paulo. Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah. Their first national television game with Paulo was on Tuesday.
That's crazy. It's okay. No, he's gonna put him back on the map. Put him back on the map.
Most def. Another one. The Knicks only a half a game above the Sixers in fifth.
Yes, but I will say that they can catch Milwaukee. At the end of the season, they can catch them.
Milwaukee, shoot. If they could play their cards right, we talking. I keep saying this, and I'm down this hill. I think that they could go get that number 1 and number 2 spot.
They 10 games behind first place, and the Celtics is they beating up on teams.
Yeah, they beating up on teams now. I put it to you like this: I'm not really afraid of the Celtics. If I'm the Knicks, if I'm a Cavs, if I'm a Bucks, I'm not OD afraid of the Celtics. They show flashes of who they truly are.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you come in with a certain mentality, they come.
They might fold. They might bend. They might break a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like with Miami last year.
Exactly.
They Miami came in with a we gonna bust your head open type of mentality, and they couldn't do nothing about it. So I still think that the Knicks can get up there. We'll see if Milwaukee can turn it around. That's a tough thing to do with a new head coach. Season, like it's basically impossible.
Being played though either. That's why I'm saying the Knicks can definitely.
They'll
overtake Milwaukee.
They'll definitely overtake Milwaukee. I think that they can at least rival Cleveland for that number 2 spot.
Absolutely.
I think that they can low key get just past them. But Cleveland has been another team that's just hot right now.
Cleveland's real hot. Donovan Mitchell doing
he looked good right now. Pacers. I hope that they could get a little bit of rest. Hopefully Halliburton can come back somewhat normal. After the break, because that's just how good he has been. So
it's important that he plays the way he was playing in the beginning of the season, like the last 20 games of this season.
Correct. Yeah. They most definitely will need that.
Philly, I don't know about Philly either.
Yeah, no, Philly. That's a question mark, but they got a big win the other night versus what's their faces. It didn't come. Here we go. They got a big win against Cleveland the other night, so. Yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see how they do coming out. Joel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really gonna come down to like how Tyrese
plays.
How Buddy Hield, he was the highest scoring player in that win against Cleveland. 24 points. Like that boy can shoot. We knew that though.
He's gonna have to keep shooting too. Kelly Oubre's gonna have to step up.
Kelly definitely got to step up. He dropped 24 too though.
Yeah, but you know how he is though.
He is. That man is. You want to talk about a roller coaster?
The definition of streaky.
Oh my goodness.
The strict definition of streaky. What? 11 points. So 11 points against Golden State, 28 against Atlanta, 16 against Washington, 24 against Cleveland, 9 against Miami.
9 against Miami.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Come on, bro. You were averaging 20. 9. Come on.
You see what I mean? Like it's there, but then it's not. It's there, but then it's not. It's like a stop and go.
Yep.
But the East is looking good. Like I'm liking the way that it's shaping out. Moving on to the West, we got the surprise team of Minnesota still rocking out in that number 1 spot.
OKC right behind them.
Yeah, Thunder right behind them with 1 game back. Clippers had a game and a half back of Minnesota. Got Denver 2.5 games back. So that's a tough.
Now that you want to talk about tight. Now
that's a race.
Those first 6 spots are tight.
That's a race right there. Then you got the Suns and Pelicans both tied up together. And Dallas is just a game behind both of them. With Sacramento, a game and a half behind them. The Lakers, only a couple games back, and then the Warriors trying to make their run. So and then Utah is on the outside looking in. So the West is another one. The West is tight though, tight.
And I just want to go back to Golden State real quick. Like Steph has been trying his heart out,
The first player in NBA history to have 7+ threes made in the last 4 games.
Mm-hmm. He is trying. Yeah, you can tell though that they got with Draymond coming back. Though.
Oh yeah, they got their juice. They got
back. Some energy.
Yeah, they got their juice back.
They needed that person in the locker room and on the court that's going to be tell the team let's go right here, right now, on site.
He was making some gesture to somebody during the Clippers game Wednesday night, and I don't know what he was trying to do. He was just sitting there. It was the weirdest thing ever. He was just sitting there. He was like.
Yeah, you see that too, right? Okay.
What is that?
I was like, are you cursing?
I was like, what are you doing? What is this gesture? I was like, oh my God, someone get him, please, please. Please.
He's on loose again, guys. Oh man.
Oh my goodness, but no, that I like where Golden State's going. No, you heard the news of Golden State tried to get Bron.
Oh my goodness, yes, I'm pretty sure everybody heard that news.
That would have, as a Laker fan, it's kind of funny because I would have only been excited just because we would have got Kuminga.
I know, but that's exactly why the Warriors are like, nope, not happening.
But you give me Kuminga, I'll take Wiggins off your hands. Give me some draft picks.
Clay's coming too.
Clay would more than likely be coming too. Give me one more player at your disposal. After that,
Moody or somebody like that.
Yeah, another young kid like Moody or somebody like that. Because I know they wouldn't put the Brandon kid in. And I know they wouldn't do that at all. Yeah, a Moody would be good. Maybe you're not chasing Jackson Davis.
Yeah. But Bron to Golden State, man, that would have been crazy.
That would be something. He's gonna have no depth.
It would be a terrible bench squad.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. But that'd be something though. If those two were there.
It's a nice hypothetical. It's a nice hypothetical.
It's cool to sit there and think about. But if we're really being honest, the only time we're really gonna see those two together is when they play
East versus West.
Yeah, East versus West or Team USA.
Yeah, exactly. And even on Bron's side, real quick, you would, the Lakers are 30-26.
Yeah.
Golden State's 26-26. You're taking a step back.
Yeah.
You're not taking a step forward.
Correct.
And again, like you said, Golden State. I would even argue now, they're teetering on the edge of having depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say when Chris Paul was in and he was healthy and he was coming in with that second unit, I would say that they were gelling
a lot better.
But then Chris Paul, he got hurt, which is an every year thing at this point.
Correct.
So I just think Bron, absolutely, he's a businessman. He's so smart. He did the right thing.
He's gonna understand. But I agree. He did the right thing, and this Laker team, I wouldn't count them out. I'm not gonna say that they're a championship team or whatever, but I will tell you that if they get in,
they were right there last year.
Yeah,
they were this close.
They get in with the same team. Basically, it's not a team I want to see now.
No.
Everyone's got their confidence up. Everyone looks actually really good. The team looks good. Actually, better without Bron on the.
AD doing his thing this entire season, man. His entire first half of the season, he's doing his thing.
They got him at 5th or 6th in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. I think he should be higher than that.
I would say top 3 easily, top 2.
Yeah, they got Chet and Wemby ahead of him. Which I don't understand that.
Wemby did just have 10 blocks, triple double. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was kind of crazy.
I can't even hide on that one.
Nah, but I'm giving it to AD. Yeah, San Antonio's 11-44. What defense is he playing? Come on now.
That whoever defense. Whoever's in front of you, just pick
go on.
But oh man, yes, this is our end to this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as we did. Next week, You know, we gonna start taking a deeper dive into college basketball, and getting back into that final race for those final spots in the NBA. So, yeah, more than excited for what's coming up in the future.
Plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna cover it all.
But till then, you already know what time it is. It's Cam.
Kyle.
Later.